Let's see changes in the CE amplifier response if R2 value is modified from 4.7 kΩ to 5.6 kΩ. This results in increased collector current IC from 477 microamperes to 1070 microamperes. However, the DC voltage at the collector reduces from 2.93 volt to 1.23 volt, and the peak-to-peak output voltage changes from 1.12 volt to 1.72 volt. Same thing can be seen in the Bode plot. The midband gain increases from 35.4 decibels to 37.1 decibels. However, change in R2 won't affect the lower cut-off frequency and hence remain at about 540 Hz. Similarly, R2 doesn't affect the dominant pole. The bandwidth of the amplifier remains constant about 1.94 MHz. Now we shall have a look at CE amplifier response as RC value is modified from 1 kΩ to 2.2 kΩ. The collector current remains constant at 477 microampere. The peak-to-peak output voltage increases from 720 mV to 1.12 volt. And the DC voltage at the collector reduces from 3.64 volts to 2.93 volt. Bode plot also shows that midband gain increases from 30 decibels to 35.5 decibels. As the bandwidth is inversely proportional to RC, the bandwidth decreases from 3.64 MHz to 1.92 MHz. It can be verified that the gain bandwidth of the amplifier remains almost constant at 115 MHz, but the lower cut-off frequency remains around 534 Hz. Let's see changes in the CE amplifier response as the bypassing of emitter degeneration resistor RE is modified from 0 ohm to 50 ohm. As bypassing of RE does not affect the biasing conditions, hence the DC collector current remains constant at 476 microampere. As the voltage gain is inversely proportional to RE, the peak-to-peak output voltage decreases from 1.12 volt to 720 mV. The DC voltage at the collector remains constant at 2.93 volt. Bode plot also shows that midband gain decreases from 35.5 decibels to 27.8 decibels. As the RE doesn't affect the dominant pole, the bandwidth of the amplifier negligibly varies from 1.9 MHz to 1.7 MHz. The lower cut-off frequency is not affected by changes in RE and it almost remains at around 500 Hz. Let's see changes in the CE amplifier response if coupling capacitor CC value is modified from 0.1 microfarad to 0.01 microfarad. As the CC does not affect the biasing, the collector current remains at 1070 microampere. The DC voltage at the collector remains at 1.23 volt and the peak-to-peak output voltage remain at 1.72 volt. For R2 of 4.7 kΩ they are constant at 476 microampere, 2.93 volt and 1.02 respectively. As CC does not affect the biasing, the Bode plot shows that the midband gain remains same at 30 decibels and the bandwidth is constant around 3.6 MHz. Only parameter that alters is the lower cutoff frequency. It changes from 640 Hz to 4.8 kHz. And the change in BJT will slightly affect the bias conditions of the amplifier. Same can be observed, when the transistor is changed from 1 to 2 the collector current changes from 1070 microampere to 1185 microampere. The changes in other parameters are very minimal.